Recent industry consolidation, of course, is nothing new. This industry has reinvented itself several times over the last century. Each time it does, it comes out better. The recent coming together of Warner Brothers and Discovery, and the more recent acquisition of Paramount by Skydance has led to larger studio organizations that have more capability, more resources. And I think what will happen, though, at the same time, as with every consolidation in any industry, some people leave. And in a way, that's a good thing. It's almost a rainmaker effect, if you will, because they go off and create new studios, new tools, new projects. That benefits the viewers in theater and TV and in streaming. Another byproduct of consolidation is the rise in ad-supported streaming. 43% of subscriptions today on streaming services are ad-based. And it's because today's viewer, they're becoming a little more tolerant of commercials. On the other hand, you could also argue that a lot of people right today are trying to find affordable ways to consume and view content. And ad-supported streaming services and then fast channels on TV, which are ad-supported, help with that. They help extend the streaming services to younger people on more limited budgets, and people all over the world that will gladly accept great content from streamers on an ad-based model. Another byproduct of the consolidation of the industry is the convergence of gaming and film. Now, this is not new. Years ago, the great game Tomb Raider was the parent of a film called Lara Croft Tomb Raider. This was followed by Warcraft, Super Mario, The Last of Us, Arcane, more recently from Riot Games. And the reason this convergence or this blurring of lines between gaming and film is happening is people want to see the great storytelling power of games in an extended format. Now remember, not everybody's a gamer. So this convergence is actually bringing the great stories that are told through interactive games to new viewers, to new markets. And this is enriching the gaming industry, giving film industry new IP to develop. I think this is a positive for both of those industries. Well, following peak TV, the industry has changed in many ways. At the studio level, at the post-production level, viewer behavior has changed, and investment patterns in the industry have changed. At the studio level, there's been a great consolidation. Of course, we've seen, giants of the industry like Warner Brothers and Discovery merge. We've seen Skydance acquire Paramount Pictures. Now, these mergers and acquisitions help bring great resources together to give those studios more scale, more storytelling capability. But at the same time, it brings the responsibility to find efficiencies, find more affordable tools, find more affordable locations. So sometimes, as we know, the expression location is very, very much in vogue in the film and TV industry today. A lot of content is being produced in overseas markets, sometimes for tax credits and lower costs, and sometimes because there's great stories to be told in foreign settings, and also to comply with the requirements of some countries that want streamers to produce a certain amount or percentage of their content in those local markets. And that helps tell the cultural stories of those locations. It produces jobs, and in the end, it helps to reach a wider audience. Now, part of that also means the selection of tools. It's hard to produce a film and distribute it to 120 countries without great capability and localization. AI, obviously a almost cliche term at this point, but a very real one, is helping subtitling and dubbing to become faster, more accurate, more efficient. And that enables the studios, after this period of peak TV, to find new markets for distribution and tell those stories in countries and in cultures and in languages never touched before. The post-production community has also evolved since the peak of film and television production a couple years ago. There's been consolidation, with many VFX, color, and editorial houses merging in order to prosper and survive. They've moved into adjacent spaces like gaming, advertising, and music. They've also sought out new workflows and tools that are more efficient, that give them more agility. No longer are post processes bound to a building or a location. There's many remote workers in post-production. Sohonet helps a lot of these types of organizations with their ability to deliver remote workflows into artists' homes or the studio or a rental house, where they can do their best work and focus on their creative ambitions rather than technical requirements. Consumer behavior has also changed. Viewers want to consume content in short form as well as long form, but boy, Instagram Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts are becoming very popular. The content creator economy that creates all of that content in short form is worth about $95 billion now. It's a sizable part of the media industry. And I think the industry is responding to that. One other way the market has changed since the peak of television and film production is that investment patterns have changed. The industry is receiving less capital investment than it had before because of the uncertainty caused during the last few years of the dynamics of COVID as well as the industry strikes. That means you have to do more with less, make better decisions, choose better tools, really optimize your workflows. That's where the industry is today. I think the investment patterns will change, especially I think one thing that will help change it will be the convergence of film and gaming. That's drawing new capital in some instances. And I think this convergence of how content is consumed will eventually drive new investment models for a combined industry. The movement of viewers toward short-form content is revolutionizing production. There's no way that you can take the baseline costs of a film or TV project and apply them to a 60-second Instagram reel. The content economy that exists today in short form for popular platforms like TikTok, Instagram with their reels, YouTube with their shorts, it requires tools that are affordable and reliable and that scale. This is an emerging and explosive part of the industry, and it's really because consumers want something to consume in short form. There's a great study from the University of California, Irvine, that in 2002 measured people's ability to focus on a screen. Back then, the average time of focus was 2.5 minutes. By 2012, it was 47 seconds. By 2017, it was 8.5 seconds. And that's about where it is today. Strangely enough, the average attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds. So people want to be able to consume content as they're multitasking, doing other things. Second screen became very popular a long time ago, but it really is the norm today. This is an amazing market that is growing at a very fast pace. And I think it's going to help transform all types of production workflows in the years to come. Streamers are producing more in overseas markets in recent years. The reason they're doing this is simple. It costs less. The actual production costs for crew, talent, travel, hotels, security, catering are all less in certain markets. The second reason is they receive tax credits. That's a real material offset to the extended cost of a production. I recently spoke to a head of Unscripted at a studio, and she told me that to produce an episode of a certain reality TV show, it costs $350,000 in the US. In Canada, it costs $150,000. It's a material difference. It's really a no-brainer. There's other reasons too. There's tax incentives. Studios and streamers receive tax incentives from certain governments to produce content or to do post-production on that content in that market. And thirdly, the benefit of producing in a local market with those settings, with the people from that market, it's easier now to localize in more extended languages using advanced AI tools for subtitling and dubbing. Benefits are great for the streamer or the studio. Benefits are great for the local market. They get more content coming into their market for the viewers that want to consume it there. Allow you to have what I call real estate agility. Historically, you had artists coming into a post-production house because they had all their kit or their PCs, their monitors, their color boards sitting under a desk or on a tabletop. They had to be there. That's no longer the case. With advancements in networking that Sohonet has helped to bring to the market, as well as advancements in remote desktop software such as PCOIP protocol from Teradici, which is now HP Anywhere, or Jump Desktop, another great remote desktop solution. Artists can work wherever they want. Their kit doesn't have to be under a desk. It can be in a data center, it can be in a rack at the Post House studio, but the artist can just as effectively work from home. This helps post-production houses be able to choose the talent that they want to assign to a project without being bound any longer to having that person be local so they could come in 5 days a week to a studio. They can hire the best, no matter where that artist is. We work with one studio that in London that has a great colorist who works from home in Belgium, and it just works. One other advantage of working with a hyperscaler or a public cloud service provider like AWS or others is the ability to spin up and spin down your technical requirements, your software applications per project. That saves a tremendous amount of money, gives you more flexibility, and in the end, when you're done, there's no equipment that you have to continue depreciating. This movement from capital expense or CapEx model to operating expense or OpEx model is really the way that the industry is moving.